Hello, hello.
Hello, Lillian. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to Real Legends, a little podcast about music biopics examined.
This is Lillian Schmidt, and I am Chris Kelsch. He
Yes.
actually studied film in college. I studied film everywhere but college. That's not true. I had a professor who was the writer of Top Gun.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, I
true.
just saw it was re-releasing in theaters.
Yeah,
Did you see the
great
popcorn?
guy named Jim Cash. Was a professor of mine. But we are here to talk about movies, and this is a great
Yes.
thing to talk about.
Yes, we
I
are.
still love them, still in love with them.
Mhm.
And we're talking about
Biopics, specifically music biopics. So, in today's world, I feel like we're getting a lot of musical biopics. To name a few that are coming to my mind would probably be Bohemian Rhapsody,
Sure.
Rocket Man, the new Michael movie,
Michael movie.
and Elvis. And I just kind of wanted to kind of explore the themes of biopics and kind of.
I wanted to ask you, when you talk about Elvis, you talking about the Baz Luhrmann
Yes, the
concert?
2022
I haven't
one.
seen it yet. The concert
you
movie,
have?
I have
No.
to see it.
Oh my God,
But
yes.
then there was the other one that Tom Hanks produced. About
Yes,
Elvis.
that's the
With
one.
that-
That's the one, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
A couple of things, and I'd be curious to hear your take on this. I know they're all very, very popular. I have not seen the Michael biopic.
Mhm.
I'm sensitive about that. I do love the director, a guy by the name of Antoine Fuqua. He's directed some great stuff, including some of the Equalizer movies.
Mhm.
Great director, especially when he works with Denzel. So I love his stuff a lot.
Agreed.
I don't like. I have to be honest here and say I don't like that they glossed over what happened. And I understand because the movie, in essence, is about his talent, the impact he had, and all that stuff, which was huge. And
Mhm.
I was alive when Thriller. I was in high school when Thriller hit, and when that thing hit, nothing could touch that thing. 40 years later, nothing could touch that thing. It
No.
is unbelievable the impact that it had.
The king
So,
of pop, you
the
know.
king
what
of
can you-
pop.
Yeah, what can you say?
And no one's been able to touch that guy since. And the guys, and it's the impact of cylinders. So it is worth doing a bio.
Yes, and I think a lot of these music superstars, they are worth doing biopics, but I think my concern is, whether we are doing them right. And I feel like the bigger question that I want to ask is, are these biopics like prioritizing entertainment or truth, or is it just, protecting a general legacy? So I kind of wanted to deep dive into these
Okay,
things
well,
and talk about it.
those are the right questions to ask, and everyone
Right.
has an opinion on them. But I will say this: I think they're popular for a couple of reasons. One, these people at some level, if you look at them, and I haven't seen all of them, but I can generalize here. Because really, if you've seen one, you see a lot of patterns. But here we go.
Mhm.
Misfits. Guys,
I've not seen it.
no,
The band or?
no, all of the movies.
Oh, okay. Still haven't seen
Misfit.
it.
No. All of the movies, including Bohemian Rhapsody, are about
Okay.
misfits,
Mhm.
guys that couldn't fit into regular society somewhere. So they had to be great at this.
Oh, I definitely agree.
That's why I did see Bohemian Rhapsody a million times. That's probably my
That
favorite
was
out of all of
great.
them. I loved it.
And it was a huge box office success. And I kind of want to gloss over why maybe it did so well, but I also want to talk about how I feel that it was more of an entertainment factor than really just a truth factor. So I feel like overall, the film grossed about over like 900 million, which is insane. And it won 4 Academy Awards. Rami Malik, I think is how you pronounce it.
He did.
He won Best Actor
Deserved
for his
it.
portrayal of Freddie Mercury, which I completely agree. And like I said, I have never been like a super huge Queen mega fan. I love their music. I grew up on their music. But I think upon rewatching, I definitely think that it's just more of an entertainment thing. And the reason why is because I feel like they've got a lot of things wrong. They were using songs in different periods that the songs weren't created in yet. And, that was a huge, like, controversial topic for the movie. Another thing that I feel like that was a little bit, go ahead, add your input.
And just as a fan of music, they left off I wanted to see them get in the studio with David Bowie and record Under Pressure because that's such a great song. And when he recorded that with them, was just dynamite. But you never saw that. Like I wanted to see stuff like that, but that's a nitpick.
The thing with biopics is like, with these huge stars, there's only so much you can cover because you have so much of their life to kind of expand on. And I feel like audiences going in to watch these movies, they have expectations because they know the star, they might know their music, their scandals.
And it depends on the age too. Like someone your age might have a totally different view, but if you were alive and really when Queen hit, it had a different
Oh,
impact
I
on you.
completely agree.
So my Michael Jackson is way different than your Michael Jackson.
I don't know.
And
I love him so.
I know, but to be in a freshman in high school when Thriller hit, it
Oh,
was like, and
I
there was
wish I could
this,
be in your place.
I
I
don't know what
do.
music stations you listen to in Chicago growing up,
Hmm.
but we had B96 was the pop station
Hmm.
and WLS FM 95, which was
Yes.
the pop station. So those were the two top 40 stations. And Billie Jean must have been played, what, Scott, 3 times an hour. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it was just,
Hmm.
and I got sick of it. I actually burnt out on Michael Jackson and hated him.
Really?
I hated him because it was just too much.
Oh, God. I could listen to
And
him
when
forever.
they announced the Jackson tour,
The
number
Victory
one,
Tour
no,
or
the very
the
first
first one?
tour, the
Okay.
Thriller tour, number one, it wasn't Michael Jackson. They threw in the
Everybody,
Jacksons.
which they cover in the movie, you have to go see
Right.
it. It's
Okay.
great.
I didn't like that move because it was Michael Jackson's album.
Well, it was because of his dad is super
And Don
talented.
King.
Yeah.
Don King
Uh-huh.
created the Pepsi sponsorship,
Oh my
which
God.
caused him to burn his face. But that's just so much going on.
There's so much going on in the
So
movie.
many layers to this. But I didn't like that. And they left Chicago off on the original tour. How can you not tour Chicago?
I know. Yeah. I completely agree. They cover Chicago a little bit in the movie about like how the Jackson 5 would come out to tour and get their name out there. And I think that this is the only part that is released for the Michael movie. It's one part. They're splitting it into two parts, partially due to legal reasons, things that they can't cover, things that they can't cover. And they had to fully re-edit the movie because the actor who was playing Diana Ross, Kat Graham, I believe, had to be completely cut out because Diana Ross took her rights back and was like,
Yep.
nope. Which
Yep.
is insane because if you think about it, Diana Ross was a huge part of Michael Jackson's early career. I mean, the Jackson's 5 like first blowout album is literally called Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5. You don't hear anything about her in the early career. And a lot of people speculate it's because like she was kind of like a groomer to Michael Jackson. I'm reading his book right now, and he literally describes Diana Ross like within the first or second chapter as a mother figure, a sister figure, and a lover. Which is like makes you kind of that's crazy because there's like a 20 different age gap. I don't want to get so into
That's
that,
the
but
least of the darkness
yeah.
right there. I mean, it gets really
It
dark.
does get
It gets
dark.
really weird.
Mhm.
And I hate to venture into this area because we're both human beings. We both love the guy. I thought he was amazing, talented. The rest, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
I don't know.
I could start saying, well, he's a perv. He's just, do I know that?
I disagree
Do
personally.
we know? Yeah,
but
everyone
yeah.
has an opinion on it. Yours is just as valuable as mine. You know just as much as I do.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing with biopics. I feel like no matter what people do, no one's ever going to be truly happy because
Right.
we're not going to get that version of that celebrity that we see.
And we know from what I've done, the research I've come across is that the Jackson family, whoever's left, had a huge say so in how this film was presented. So they're
Yes.
telling their story.
But it's crazy. So the Jackson family, a lot of them did, support the film, but there was a couple things I need to talk about, specifically
Okay.
the Jackson movie, the Michael Jackson movie. Janet Jackson was completely erased from the movie. So was the eldest sister, Rebe, and Randy Jackson. They were all not present in the movie because they did not sign their rights off to the movie. So I feel like I understand and I respect that, but it makes me feel like why didn't you?
Well, like today, that Reeve was the one that went to, I think, their mom. I forget what her name was. What was the mother's name?
Catherine.
Catherine. I think Reeve went to Catherine and said Joe was abusing these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been cut. You never hear her name mentioned. So I
Yeah.
think she was
she was eldest too.
yeah, and she was a whistleblower. So they kind of edged her off to the side. You never hear about her. Never hear about her.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like reading his book now, I'm getting a lot more intel.
Whose book is it?
Michael Jackson's book, Moonwalker. I have it on my iPad. I'm reading it on
Really?
Kindle. And I think that, it makes me excited to see what they're going to cover in the second movie because the first movie, it takes you from, him as a little boy to right at the beginning of the Bad Tour. And I think that they did a lot of things well in this movie. I feel like you were genuinely watching a Michael Jackson concert.
Wow.
I saw three times. Three times, and I was like, man, this is the closest I'm gonna get to Michael Jackson. But I also just feel like when you're doing a biopic, there's a lot of things that you just gotta get right, and they miss so much things that they have a huge time skip, and they also kind of make it out in the movie that Off the Wall was Michael Jackson's first solo album, when in reality it wasn't. He had like three different solo.
Really?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
you
I
didn't
thought
know
Off the
that.
Wall was the real
So,
introduction to Michael Jackson.
so
On his own.
yes,
I didn't know that.
he had three. I think it was three or four different solo albums. There was Ben. I think I have them written down. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So yes, we got a huge Michael Jackson fan in the background here,
Well,
Scott.
there were I've seen two documentaries. One on Off the Wall,
Mhm.
which was great, and it
Right.
goes back to how all those singles were really kind of genius picks on their own,
Mhm.
and then how Off the Wall ultimately set up.
It was also the end of the disco era, Off the Wall. I feel like it's the final
Right.
curtain call.
Gamble and Huff, the two disco geniuses out of
Yes.
Philadelphia, were on this documentary, and they said that was the ultimate transition album from
Mhm.
disco to that next wave of, we'll just call it 80s pop. So it went
Yeah.
from 70s disco to 80s pop. That's a big wave. Okay. When it
Right.
goes to 80s pop, that's everything. That's England, that's Australia, that's,
Mhm.
Men at Work. I'm reliving my
Just
youth.
everywhere.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Boy George, Culture Club, Duran Duran, Men at Work, you name it. Everything hit at once, and it was freaking great. Plus, late 70s English punk with the Clash and all
Mhm.
that, specials, all that stuff hit at once. It was amazing.
I know.
Amazing. Never been the same since. I mean, everything that has come since then has been an offshoot of the 80s. So 90s REM, U2, all that stuff. But anyways, it was a crazy time, an amazing time to get introduced to music. But to your point, Thriller was so incredible because of Quincy Jones, because this guy had
Yes.
directed orchestra music. He had
Mhm.
not directed, but produced Frank Sinatra, classical music. This guy had produced
Musical genius,
He's
by
just
the
a
way.
genius.
Yeah, and one thing about the
The-
movie that I just was so upset about is they didn't really introduce how he met Quincy Jones, which was through The Wiz, which they couldn't put in the movie because of
That's
Diana
right.
Ross's involvement.
That's right.
So it literally, like, the movie.
Because Quincy Jones produced The Wiz. That's right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the movie jumps from, Michael Jackson's little kid to now him with Quincy Jones producing Off the Wall. And I feel like for people who aren't as big as Michael Jackson fans, or, a lot of Gen Z people who are either just getting into him, or I was raised on him, so I love him. I feel like you might be like, who is this guy? What's his backstory? And we get nothing because they completely erased that because of Diana Ross's absence, and which was, really unfortunate because I feel like she was just a really big part of his life and career. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, that's just biopics. You're not just going to get everything that you want.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a different agenda.
Right.
On these biopics, there's a couple other things in common that I want to go over. One, that's
Yes.
that they were misfits. They didn't fit in anywhere, but they were supremely talented. And secondly, and I know you went to film school, so you probably studied this, it's classic hero's journey. It's a guy who starts out
Mhm.
nowhere, from nowhere, no one cares about him. They have this talent. They
It's
meet
like
the
an
right
underdog
right.
story. Yeah.
They meet the right people. They meet this partner or that partner. They're hanging out at a bar. Hey, you sound cool. Let's put together a band. Blah blah blah. That I'm thinking of Bohemian Rhapsody when he
Yeah.
tells them in the back, "I want to be your singer," and they're like, "He's got that weird overbite."
Mhm. Which made him sound great too.
That was that he could hit that other octave
I know.
because of that overbite. We're talking about Freddie Mercury. So I just think there's classic things there that go all the way back to the beginning of time. Classic themes of
Mhm.
hero's journey, being a misfit, trying to fit in. And they're fun to watch, but kind of when you've seen one, you've seen them all. But like I said, when I see Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't need to go see the Bob Dylan one because I know that's a repeat.
I didn't even watch the Bob Dylan
I didn't
one.
see that one.
I didn't.
And the other ones, I do
Bob
want to
Marley
see.
one?
I don't need to see it. I already know the story. I'm sorry, but they're kind of. I hate to use the word formulaic, but when you know the stories, that's why they all sell too, because they all have their fans. They all have a unique
Mhm.
story. They all came from nothing.
Mhm.
None of these were Nepo babies. None of these guys were
Mhm.
the chosen ones, the elites, or anything
Mhm.
like that. They all came from the streets of nothing.
Yeah, and I feel like in a way that's why there's so many people who really like biopics.
It's
Because,
inspiring.
yeah, because it's like, oh, I want to root for you. Like you're the person, you're the
That's
little
it.
man, and I want to live together.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
that story.
And
Everyone goes and goes, I could do that. That could
yeah.
happen to me.
Right. And you see that with Elvis, the Elvis movie, like him as a little boy, and like, I know you haven't seen it, but I love the 2022 film. I do think that they really focused a lot on Colonel Tom Parker, Tom Hanks's character. It kind of really became his movie more than Elvis's, but you see that in the Elvis movie, like him as a little boy. Same with the Elton John movie, Rocket Man, which, by the way, is one of my favorite music biopics. Have you seen that?
I have not. What makes it so great?
I think that it is so different than your regular biopic. It's not just like this is what happened. It is Elton John's life almost through like a musical stage performance.
Ah,
So
okay.
it is completely like, kind of a little bit exaggerated. There's a lot of surrealism, but like one of my favorite parts is like, Elton John's playing a piano, right? And he's literally lifting off, like he's flying from the piano, and so are the people in the audience. And obviously that's not happening, right?
Who
But
plays him?
Taron Egerton,
Okay.
which if you've seen Kingsman, he plays Eggsy in the Kingsman. A great movie, by the way. Love him. And I feel like a lot of people liked the surrealism because you can really see that music was his escapism, also, all this stuff. But a lot of people couldn't really differentiate because there was a lot of surrealism that it seemed like, okay, well, is this like, like a drug dream that's going on? Is it just all in his head? Like, what's going on? But I really liked it because I think when you're a film buff, you were able to kind of differentiate, okay, this is just happening in his head. This is, a dream. I just thought it was a mix of all different things. And I think that's why Rocket Man did so well. For me personally, it did well at the box office, but I do feel like the marketing tactics, I feel like not a lot of people knew about it. It also came out in 2019 as well. So like,
COVID, yeah, that's gonna kill it. That kill
right?
everything. If it came and went during COVID, if you were lucky enough to be home and watch it, you saw it, but you probably missed a bunch of stuff, as did I. Another thing I've seen in these movies, they kind of use, and this is probably pretty true for all artists, but there always seems to be like this dark character that is
Yes.
around these people
Yes.
that doesn't necessarily have their best interest at heart because they're on the payroll and they need that person to keep going.
Like Colonel Tom Parker, yeah.
Colonel Tom Parker
Mhm.
comes to mind. I know Michael had a bunch of those dudes, Don King and those that who got in.
I love MJ.
Yeah. The Bohemian Rhapsody, he had that dark, creepy boyfriend that tried to convince him to break off from the band.
Same with Rocket Man, yeah. They
Same thing, all
explore
that
his
stuff. Now that stuff,
yeah.
you know, and you might as well learn this at a young age. That stuff, Hollywood. If you sell rights or you give Hollywood stuff like that to do, I'm sorry, but when you sign it over and you take the check, that's Hollywood. That's what they're going to create a bad guy out of someone.
They're going to dramatize
They're
it.
going to dramatize it. They're
Exactly.
going to say that guy may have been Michael Jackson's best friend, but someone's going to go, for the purposes of this story, it would help if that guy was a real dick. So
Yes.
but that's Hollywood, and you have to know that going in. Like I was thinking of, what was I thinking of, Moneyball or something like that, where some of these guys were. No, FX this past winter, Love Story with JFK Jr. and
my mom was watching that.
I watched
yeah,
it.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it would. I hate watched parts of it, but watched it other parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
They I'm a little bit older, so they really did catch the 90s. And Scott knows what I mean by this. There was a vibe to the 90s, whether you're in Chicago or these people were in New York. And it was just a really pre-internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's hard to explain, but when I say pre-internet, Scott knows what I mean by this. You would be much different if you didn't grow up with the internet.
Oh, I completely agree.
So when you didn't have the internet, imagine waking up, being young and living in a city like Chicago, New York, and not being tied to your phone, not being tied to your email.
I kind of wish.
It's a totally different energy. So you're not tied to your screen. You get up and you're like, you got to go to work and make money and have your job. But then it's either it's that, and then you were social, and then you were out and about making friends, talking to people, having drinks, talking about this, going to improv, going to shows. Very different society. Everything was more open. You met more people. You had more experiences. Internet solved a lot of problems, but it created a lot of problems too. So when you met and you're trying to date people, you're just out and about, you met people. Like you didn't use dating apps or anything like that. So very different time, but that biopic love story captured that really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it made Daryl Hannah like the bad girl. She was never a
I
bad
heard
girl.
about
Yeah,
that. Yes.
but that's Hollywood. They
Yeah, they're
do
always
that.
gonna make someone bad.
They're gonna make someone
Always.
mad. They're gonna make this a good person, and that's the deal. And I'm surprised because Daryl Hannah wrote an op-ed piece in the New York Times complaining about it. I'm like, girl, sister, you've been in this game long enough to know if someone's gonna do that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to work in Hollywood one day, but they can be pretty evil and
It's very reptilian.
claws out. Exactly. Oh,
Very
that's a whole
reptilian.
other conversation. Yeah, but I do agree.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You're better off here with us.
in Chicago, I
Yeah.
love the Chicago area.
So
I will
yeah.
say. But like in general, I really just want your opinion because this is like what I think. Well, I do think, biopics, they, have like, what's the word I'm trying to think? That they, pull entertainment factors and that, they might be protecting legacy or stuff like that. What do you feel like is the general message of a biopic? Do you think it's just like a money grabber? Do you just like what do you like? I want to know.
I think one, it appeals to the fans of that particular
The
person.
fans.
So
Mhm.
I'm not a huge Bob Dylan fan, so
You
chances
say
and I
that?
hate Timothy Chalamet.
Really?
Hate him. Absolutely hate him. So chances are I'm not gonna go see the Bob Dylan biopic. Doesn't even
Yes.
interest me enough.
And I think it's on
Bohemian
PBS.
Rhapsody, I am interested.
Is it?
That's a cool story.
Mhm.
So it has to do with whether or not you connected with the music and connected with the band. So that's thing number one. So that is yes.
Oh,
Yes.
my mom loves Prince.
Loved it. Loved it.
My mom loves Prince.
And again, he hit right when Michael Jackson hit. When did he hit? 82, 83,
Yeah.
Scott?
Yeah.
Same
Oh my
time?
God, their beef was insane.
Crazy.
Prince and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Hmm.
These are all, I have to say, damaged people, which is the sad part of these biopics. I think all these people are dealing with some kind of massive childhood wound.
Hmm.
I don't want to judge that too harshly, but obviously Michael. I mean, I'm not here to condemn him for what he did. What I will say, he probably turned out effed up because of his dad.
Yeah.
And so
We talked about that in his book.
These
Yeah.
movies are about overcoming. That's why I say it's the hero's journey. These are the people that had damaged childhoods or difficult upbringings, but they had a talent and they had a gift and they were driven to succeed
Completely.
and they overcame the odds. Because let's be honest, if you make it like these people have made it, it's a fascinating story. You've made it in America, you've made it worldwide. Everyone wants to know what's the secret sauce? How do we do that? How do I become Michael Jackson? Everyone wants to know that, whether they admit it or not. They want to know the secret to how it happened. So I just think these things all have common themes that everyone connects with, that everyone wants to know about, and everyone wants to feel good about. This guy overcame this, and he still did that. Ray was like that when Jamie Foxx played Ray Charles, same exact thing. But I can tell you right now, I really want to see the Elvis concert movie. That
I do too. Oh my God.
It's called Epic.
Epic.
Epic? Yes. No, I want to see that. If you
I saw it.
You saw
How
it?
is it?
It was like
I didn't know it was out. Like
Yes.
the one oh okay.
I've got
It was residency. Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna go
Was it
see
in
that.
Vegas?
Yes.
Okay.
Baz Luhrmann.
Baz Luhrmann directed.
He found it in his basement.
What's interesting about Elvis is before the drugs and all of that stuff. These people, and it's really sad, but they all started out really innocently. Elvis came from gospel.
I know. Yeah. He took a lot of his music from, like African American cultures and stuff. And I feel like with the 2022 movie, the one with Tom Hanks, like they touch on that, they have like, Little Richie and stuff in there and, but I just, I'm always wanting more. So anytime like, this new Elvis movie, I'm going to go watch that, take what I want from that.
Yeah.
The 2022 Elvis movie, the Priscilla movie took that. I'm just taking everything and putting it in my brain and, becoming a little dictionary with everything.
Well, I was actually in Tennessee when he died. I wasn't in Memphis, but I was in Chattanooga, 77. coming home from Jekyll Island on a family vacation.
Uh-huh.
And when he died in August of '77, huge, huge. But what's sad is these guys start out innocent with their type of music and the things they want to do, and the machine just gets big and big and
I
big.
know.
And now they're 50 years old. It always seems to happen right around the same age, 45, 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the treadmill. They're trying to do the thing. They've got a manager, a producer. It's like,
That's
come on,
running
you
their
gotta keep
life like a
doing it.
dictator,
It's awful.
genuinely.
And I don't. And what do they feel? I think they really feel trapped
In pain.
and
Yeah.
in pain, and
And it
they
makes
just
sense.
want to
Oh.
escape. That's why someone had the theory that it's kind of true when you. It's fun to. I mean, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but I like to try and piece things together and see how they could work. And this guy postulated that this is it. The name of that last
Yes.
is
Did you
this
see
is
that
it.
movie?
Like, I'm out of here.
Oh.
This is it. We're done. This is it. Gone.
Yeah.
And some people think that's really how he felt. He's ready to go. Like, don't cry for me. I get out of here.
I know. And as an empath, and like personally, like I'm not gonna get so into it. I'm a Michael defender till I die. I have my facts. That's a whole different thing to unpack. But I feel like with the movie that was produced after, you know, for the whole concert, 'cause they had so much footage for the concert, it really tugs on your heartstrings, and it's like you don't know what to feel. Yeah,
You know, when he's rehearsing for the concert, he can still dance like that. He can still, the
Yeah.
physicality of him never dropped off at all. Even at
I
age
know.
50, he could move like that.
I
And
hope I could
remember
move
when
like
he's-
that at age
and he's
50.
still playing with his brothers. It looked like there was genuine love and affection between him and his brothers. They
Mhm.
looked that way to me, watching them rehearse together and sing and stuff on concerts, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I don't know. It's complicated. I hate judging things like that because I'm not in the room, as they say. It's like judging a marriage or anything else, unless you're there every day, you see how people behave every day. I'm just theorizing like anyone else.
No, I completely.
But these are rich, but you're right. To your point, to start off this whole thing, rich subject matter. People have been through a lot, huge journeys, big impact on people. That's the good news. You make all the money in the world, all the fame in the world. Bad news is you're trapped by that life. And
Right.
That's happened to
And
Jim.
it's just gonna keep running after you. You know?
Yeah,
It's
and
like
that's
a
why
reaper.
that's what happened to Jim Carrey, where he's just like, I've had enough. I'm out of here. It's like, he did the same thing.
Mhm.
He just like, it's crazy. So it happens, and I
It
don't blame
does.
him. If I had all me, really, if I had all the money in the world and all that, when I had reached 50 years old and I was exhausted, I would just have said, "We're done. I'm gonna take my $100 million and go sit on an island somewhere. That's it. You got
Where would you go?
Chicago, Illinois.
An island? Yeah.
No, there's some spots in Michigan I'm in love with. I love the Midwest. I would not be on the coast. I would keep it simple. Like Prince, I like that Prince lived in Minneapolis. Like he didn't live on the coast. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. I like people who stay true to their roots.
The roots. Mhm.
Elvis lived in Memphis. I thought that with Graceland in Memphis, that's
Dolly Parton too.
Dolly
right?
Parton. A lot of the country music artists live in Nashville. They never moved anywhere. Taylor Swift lives in New York and Nashville.
Yeah, I love
Stuff like
Taylor.
that. I love her too.
I went to see her concert. You know, I can't wait till they make a Taylor biopic a couple years from now. When
Right.
Who's gonna play her? You know,
Right.
who do you think would be a good contender? Do you know?
To play her?
To play Taylor, yeah.
Taylor.
Taylor, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Dakota Johnson. There's no one stronger than. There's not an actress out there right now who
McKenna
has
Grace.
who has who?
McKenna Grace. She's an up and coming actress. She's I think she's around my age, 19, 20. And she's been in so many like A-list movies with A-list celebrities. Like she played Tanya Harding in the I, Tonya. She's a little girl. She was in the new Ghostbusters, the new Five Nights at
Oh, the
Freddy's
cute
movie.
little brunette girl.
She's blonde right now. She's playing Daphne now in the new Scooby-Doo reboot, which that's a whole nother conversation. I don't know why we need to have so many reboots.
I can
There's
tell you why.
money grabbers, yeah.
They're out of ideas. Hollywood has been out of ideas.
I know, and everyone's looking to AI.
Yeah.
I hate AI. But, you know, all in all, I feel like with this whole wrapping up the biopics, I truly believe that they don't choose between entertainment, legacy, and, you know, in truth. I feel like it's all one packaged into one nice little bow. I feel like they, cross the three truths, legacy, entertainment. And I feel like truth, gives them credibility, all that stuff, the entertainment value, the drama, people live for that. And the legacy, people want to see their favorite celebrities on screen. They want to see, especially when they pass away. So I feel like in totality, like biopics, they're still going to keep pushing them out. They're going to find someone new. They're never going to not stop.
Well, if you really connect with an artist, whether it be a comic or a musician or singer or painter or whatever, you really connect deeply with their work and it means a lot to you. You want to know their origin story. You want to know how it came to be. That's a natural curiosity. And so, you just nailed it. They're always going to be cranking those out.
Always.
It's not a recent trend. I mean, it's clumped together,
yeah.
but they've been going on forever.
And as a serious fangirl, which I am a very big fangirl, I'm always going to consume them. Sorry, I hate to be that person, but like I said, it really does depend on who's playing them and if I like the director and stuff. But I'm gonna jump on it, honestly. So, yeah,
At it.
yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us with Real Legends. My name's Lillian Schmidt.
I'm Chris Kelch.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Hope you guys
Talking movies.
Talking movies, exactly. Well, you can find me a couple different places. So my main Instagram, which I currently use, I'm very active on, is at Lillian2381. I'm posting a lot of my work on my other Instagram. It's more up and coming. It's at Schmidt_entertainment, as well as my YouTube. You can find my portfolio online. It's Lillian Schmidt's portfolio. We'll put it up there. But I'm just kind of, posting my work here and there. A lot on my personal Instagram, but I'm trying to, overcome that imposter syndrome and put my content out there because as a creator, I want to do that, right?
Right. I, for one, have a MySpace page.
My
And
Are
I
you
think
for
this
real?
thing is going to take off.
Are you for real?
No.
Oh my God, I'm so gullible.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm on Instagram at CL Kelch. My name is Chris Kelch, and I do a lot of work with Scott Anderson here at Studio 28 Workshop 4200.
Yes.
So,
Shout out Scott.
Shout out to Scott Anderson as always for putting this stuff on. It makes us look amazing. So, good stuff, man. Fun talking movies with you.
Fun
Real
talking
Legends.
Yeah, Real Legends. Let's go. All right, we're out. Bye.